Have yourself a merry little Christmas underneath. Either way, this is the worst intro ever because I just showed my shitty sing skills. Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Kian, and in today's video I actually want to say Merry Christmas everyone. When this video is getting uploaded, it's Christmas Day, 25th of December, first Christmas Day, and I want to say Merry Christmas. Maybe if you're seeing this, it's even New Year, so I also want to say Happy New Year. Guys, thanks a lot for this absolutely weird year. In this video I shortly want to go through my year and I want to tell you guys how it was. I am already gonna say, and that is a very quick opener, this year was shit. Not in terms of YouTube, of course not in terms of I don't know, eating, but it was not a good, it was I mean, it's not a bad year. It's just not the year that you hope to have as a young racing driver who wants to make everything come true. So 2024 is the first real year that I was able to make the big steps that I wanted to make my big dream come true, which is actually driving in the championship as a racing driver. It's not my biggest dream. My biggest dream is being a full-time racing driver, but my dream is becoming a racing driver, making the step to have my first championship, to race on a very consistent way. And I think you understand what I mean. And the year actually started pretty good. On the 30th of January, I actually drove my first session. It was actually the 31st of January. I drove my first session on Circuit Zandvoort. It was pouring wet. It was raining like you've never seen. And it was crazy. It was absolutely mad. So that was, but that was a good way to start the year. I did that because 1 week later I got my license days, which actually was the best day of my life. No, I had 2 days on Zandvoort doing some courses and getting my racing license, my international racing license. Well, it's not called the international racing license, but that's the concept of the license on the international level. And I was just doing a lot of driving, and that was much fun. And I thought, yeah, this is gonna be a fucking great year. But I gotta be honest, it felt like everything was going perfect when I was doing my license and stuff. So, and it can't be that perfect in the first way, right? So I was talking with a lot of teams, and I was actually before the license stuff, I was talking with a lot of teams for the Mazda MX-5 Cup. I hoped to drive in the Formula 4, but that was not what happened. But I did a lot for the Mazda MX-5 stuff, and we worked a lot on that. And I actually had a team to drive with, and I had a team to drive the Mazda MX-5 Cup that was starting in April until October. So I had a team and I knew the costs, so I was looking for sponsors, and I got on to an investor, and he told me he wanted to help me and to help me with getting a good sponsor, getting a good etc, and that was looking very promising. But my biggest mistake, and that's something I will never make, is because I got this investor and he got some good names for me. I was like, okay, I'm good. It just takes time, it just takes waiting. I'm just gonna train a lot, prepare for my Mazda MX-5 season, and I'll hear from him. And that is the biggest mistake that no one should make. You don't have to knock on one door, you should knock on everyone's door. So that is my biggest tip when you're looking for sponsors. Don't just expect one company to be your sponsor. Knock on everyone's door until you have a yes and until you have an agreement. And of course, more sponsors is better than one. So stay on the search, keep on the search, keep looking for sponsors. I did not succeed. So later on, I missed on in April my first race, and that was a big mental hit, of course, because I was trained so much and I was well prepared and everything was prepared. My friends were prepared, and I had to message everyone that it was not going through. Even my car was ready, and yeah, my racing season was not starting while everyone was starting. So I was standing there at the side of the track, just making photos and saying hello to everyone and hating my life. But in MX-5 Cup, it's not that if you miss the first race, you're not able to drive the full season. You are able to drive the full season, still. Not the full season, but you are able to join later on. So I was like, okay, Spa in May, I'm gonna join that one. So I was already preparing, and I was with the same investor because he never said no, he just said it needs more time. And that really messed up the first half of my year. So in May I hope to drive again, and I again had to cancel it. Again, friends were prepared. And in May or April, the week after the first race, I also been for my last time to Arden since then. The last time I went to Arden was April 2024. And that's of course way too long ago, because my goal, I was going once in 2 months, and my goal was to go once in every month, so much more. Now the last time is now December. The last time I went was April. That's I wish I went one time in 2 months. This is all because of money, because we did not have any money anymore, and it was just gone. And my team told me, of course, you have to get sponsors for a championship. That's much more important than Arden, but I now have nothing. I don't have both. I have no Arden and no championship. And man, it sucks. It sucks because my contract was ending in May, but I wanted to resign. But when I resigned, I had to pay monthly again. And we did not have the money. There was no money. It's a lot of money. So I couldn't re-sign the contract. I'm still with Arden, by the way. I also just made a video about my favorite moment of 2024. But I still am not going to Arden anymore. And that is my favorite thing of my life. Just blown away because of money. So I think you understand that money is my biggest rival this year. Because in July I also had the opportunity to race. Then in July I got the conversation with the big sponsor that Investor had, and it was actually a pretty big company, and it was actually a pretty interested a pretty interesting connection. So we tried to plan an appointment in June actually, which was pretty early, and I already got a message from the investor that he wanted to give me a lot of money as a sponsor. So I was like, yes, let's go, we can finally drive. But then we tried to make an appointment, and that just did not work, and that kept on delaying. And right before the Jack's Racing Day in Assen in July, I actually got an appointment. We got a conversation. It was very good. It was very positive. And everyone thought that this would come true. Until a Wednesday afternoon that I was with a friend of mine. And I got a call from this guy. And he told me, Kian, we are not going to do it. And that was the biggest shock I ever got, man. And then I got some. Then that Friday, I still went to them because they asked me, "Yeah, you can of course come over." And then we come over, and then we're gonna explain why we've not done it. But we can understand that you don't want this because it's pretty sad. Because we were already preparing that race weekend. And I said, like, okay, even though I'm fucking sad right now, I'm still gonna come over, of course, because I'm not crybaby. So I came over, and we had coffee, and we were talking about that. And man, I've never been this dry in a conversation before. As you can see, I'm smiling right now. I'm happy because I don't know why. I'm just happy to be here, to be alive. I'm just happy to be alive. But I gotta be honest, that Friday morning in Amsterdam, I was so dry. And a few hours later, I think an hour later, after that conversation, I went to my grandparents. They also live in Amsterdam. And I was sitting there, and my grandma told me, purely honestly, Kian, there is more in this world than racing. Because you're failing racing right now, it's not that you can't do anything in life. You can also do other stuff. And that's the moment when I realized, okay, maybe it is actually not for me racing. Maybe I actually have to stop. And I was saying to everyone that I was trying to get a new sponsor, to getting new contacts, but in fact, I was not, because I was very sad, not only because of racing, also because of other stuff that I'm not gonna explain, I'm not gonna talk about here. And then the final 2 races, September and October, I also missed because, well, there was nothing happening. I was just sitting in my room, driving F1 and to set a course without any point. I was not making YouTube videos because, man, I can't explain it. It was just a very dark time in 2024 because it was my first time that I actually came so close, and it was pretty aggressive on how this man denied it. It was not an aggressive tone, but it was like it looked so good and so promising, and I had such high hopes, and then out of nowhere he just said no. And that was pretty shitty, and that caused me to not be able to get back to England and not be able to drive in the championship. And at least one race was good, And I've made a lot of mistakes this year. One of that is that I've only knocked on one door. And the second thing is that I've actually chosen a too expensive championship because you have a cheaper MX5 Cup. And I'm still convinced that if I told him that I wanted to do that, they accepted the sponsorship. I've made a lot of mistakes, but that I gotta be honest, that brought me much further. And what my grandma told me about you can also do something else, I will never do something else. Don't worry, I'm not gonna give up, and 2025 is hopefully my year. Now, of course, I've started Mission Kian. I have better sponsor packages, and I'm clear about what I'm giving back to a sponsor. And my goal is always to be better than my rivals. Well, I don't have rivals. My only rival is money, but still than my other competitors. And I'm convinced that Mission Kian can be something very big, as something very great. And if you partner me in 2025, you'll actually also be part of a better climate and a better world, and not only my racing career. But yeah, I think if you have understood what I've said, I've talked pretty fast. I think you can understand that 2024 is not my favorite year, and in fact, I'm happy that's over. And of course, a year is just a number, and we're still grinding, even though the next year has not started, and I'm still grinding in the final days and final week of 2024. But I want to say that this year was one to forget, but also one to learn from. And I hope that, I actually wish that 2024 is going to happen once, and that from now on everything will actually improve. Some positive things about 2024 is that I got my racing license, is that I still got some races. I got some kart races, and we actually finished second, which was nice. I did a lot of esports races, and of course the best thing of 2024, okay, the second best thing, is that I'm now on a very consistent pace on YouTube, and then I'm just doing, and then I'm happy again, and that my bad mood of the past half year is now gone, and that I'm just very productive right now, and of course that I have 122 subscribers. Thank you so much. That's an achievement that I did not expect to get this year, and I just love you guys. And I want to say, guys, if you feel on the first time like I did, don't stop, man. Don't stop. You did this with a reason. God, or well, okay, I'm God now. I gave you this dream with a reason. Please don't stop ever. Don't ever stop believing in your goals. If I can make it, you can absolutely do it too. Please, if you have some ups and downs, you can't have 80 amazing years. If you have some ups and downs, please just keep going. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and let's make 2025 unforgettable. Let's go.